Welcome to the Hindu News Analysis by Shankar Academy. Displayed a list of news articles selected for today's analysis and their page numbers in different editions of the newspaper. The link for the handwritten notes in the PDF format and the timestamping of the discussed articles are provided in the description and also in the comment section for the benefit of the viewers. Now let us move on to the analysis of first news article. These news articles are with reference to the recent ban imposed by the Government of India on some of the mobile applications which are reported in news media as Chinese applications. In this discussion, we will see the background of this move, the criticisms, then the possible repercussions on the Chinese economy and Indian economy, and also we'll see the response of Chinese government on this ban. The syllabus relevant for the analysis of these articles is highlighted here for your reference. First, let's see the background. See, on 29th June 2020, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology decided to block 59 applications. The reasons cited for this is that the ministry has received information that these applications are engaged in some illegal activities which are prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, prejudicial to defense of India, and which are prejudicial to security of state and public order of India. And we have to be aware that the government press release has not used the term China or Chinese apps, though most of the apps are linked to Chinese companies. The ministry has received many complaints about misuse of some of the mobile applications on Android and iOS platforms. Misuse here refers to stealing personal information of users and secretly transmitting users' data to servers that are located outside India. And because of this, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, coming under Ministry of Home Affairs, has also sent an exhaustive recommendation for blocking such malicious mobile applications. In addition to this, the ministry has also received representations from citizens regarding security of data and risk to privacy with reference to operations of certain applications. So based on all these things, the ministry has decided not to allow the usage of certain applications that are used in mobile devices and also in other internet-enabled devices, for example, smart TVs, computers, tabs, etc. So to understand the ban, we need to know two concepts that are used by some of the companies hosting such applications. One is data mining, then there is data profiling. When we say data mining, it refers to extraction of usable data from a larger set of raw data. When we say data profiling, this refers to any form of processing of personal data. The processing will analyze and predict the aspects related to behavior of an individual, attributes of an individual, interests of an individual. This definition of data profiling is as per the Personal Data Protection Bill of 2018. And we can understand that data profiling can be used to play a very important role to influence the decision-making power of voters during an election. It could also be used for micro-targeting as well. So normally the compilation of data, the data mining, the data profiling by some of the elements or companies or those which are situated in regions that are hostile to India or that are threatening territorial integrity to India or that are against national security and defense of India, then these issues becomes a matter of concern. This is because such data compilation, mining and profiling will ultimately affect the sovereignty and integrity of India as it uses personal data of Indian citizens. So in connection with all these things, we can understand these issues require emergency measures in the present scenario, and as an emergency measure, MeitY has imposed ban on certain applications. Now the issue with this ban is that of the 59 banned applications, most of them are linked to Chinese companies. And many of these applications are widely used by Indian citizens. For example, if you take a popular video sharing social networking app like TikTok, mobile browser, UC browser, then file sharing application called Sarit. The commonality in these three applications is their wider user base in our country. Each application has more than 100 million monthly active users. That is, each of such application has more than 10 crore monthly active users. Now let us see how the ministry has banned the app by invoking power under which law. See, it invoked the power under Section 69 capital A of Information Technology Act 2000 along with relevant provisions of Information Technology Rules 2009. That is Information Technology, Procedure and Safeguards for Blocking of Access of Information by Public Rules 2009. This Section 69 capital A, it provides power to issue directions for blocking for public access of any information through any computer resource that also includes smartphones as per the IT Act. Here, blocking the public access means the applications are blocked for use for the public. So this means these 59 applications are blocked for Indian public. The Section 69 capital A is given here for your reference. And once a direction is issued under Section 69A, we should note that if an intermediary fails to comply with such direction, and as per subsection 3 of Section 69 capital A, the intermediary shall be punished with the imprisonment for a term which may extend to 7 years and may also liable to fine. Here when we say intermediary, it refers to telecom service providers, internet service providers, web hosting service providers, search engines, online marketplaces, cyber cafes. So with reference to the directions issued by the Government of India, the applications have been removed by respective companies, respective intermediaries from the downloadable platforms. Additionally, the banned application companies are invited to meet with concerned Indian government stakeholder for an opportunity to respond and to submit clarifications on the allegations of misusing of their applications. So this is the background. Now let's come to the editorial article which provides criticism on this move of Indian government. The author of this editorial agrees that from the perspective of data security and privacy, there is a need for strong action on these applications and their companies since they have wide user base in our country. So according to the author, strong action could have been more strictly regulating these applications and ensuring that they were complying with the law. But instead of making the companies liable to strictly follow the rules and regulations, the government has outrightly or instantly banned or blocked these applications. That is why the editorial is titled as Control Not Delete. So even though author supports the move by saying that the government has done the right thing, but feels that it is done for wrong reasons, that is, banning the application citing national security reasons, the author feels it like a childish move. This feeling is because of the timing of this move when India is in a standoff with China along the line of actual control. We have to understand this in the sense that the issues related to security were also present earlier, but the action was taken now when India is in a standoff with China along the line of actual control. So this is the author's opinion. The author then mentions that the ban is less motivated by privacy concerns. Rather, it is focused on sending a message to China. The message is like an indication and not an actual retaliation to counter China. This is because the move is expected to just help the government to show to the Indian public that it is responding to China's aggression along line of actual control. But according to the author, it will not have any impact on deterring or discouraging Chinese aggression on the border. However, the ban is expected to have some repercussions on both the economies of India and China. Now let's see how this move affects India first. The ban is expected to affect employment of local Indian workers who support these applications. Here when we say local Indian workers, this is in reference to those who are engaged in application maintaining servers in India, then those who are users of these applications who are earning based on these applications. Then Indian economy will be affected if China retaliates to the ban because a number of critical and strategically sensitive Indian sectors are dependent on Chinese goods. For example, Indian drug makers are heavily dependent on China for active pharmaceutical ingredients. See, though Indian pharmaceutical industry is third largest in the world in terms of volume and 14th largest in terms of value, we also import various bulk drugs or active pharmaceutical ingredients for producing medicines. 2/3 of total imports of bulk drugs or drug intermediates are coming from China. In the year 2018-19, the percentage of imports from China in this regard was around 67.56%. So reduction in supply from China at this time of crisis will lead to supply chain disruptions for Indian drug firms. Next, if you consider telecom sector, China serves to a majority of smartphone demand in our country, and additionally Chinese vendors are also involved in India's 4G network and also in the 5G trials as well. So because of these economic dependencies of India on China, if China retaliates, it will affect our economy. Now let's see how it may affect China. See, experts say that these applications together, they are estimated to have over 50 crore active monthly users in India. So the ban will have a significant impact on Chinese firms. For example, if you consider TikTok, according to reports, in December 2019, the time spent on TikTok in India was more than the combined time spent by next 11 countries. This means because of the ban, TikTok will lose its large user base and it will affect the company's revenue. And based on multiplier effect, the significant impact on Chinese firms will affect the China's economy. Also, the ban by India has created fear that similar implications could be followed by other countries on applications hosted by or originating from China. This leads to a bigger threat to the Chinese economy. Now let us see some of the responses from the side of China. China has said that it is seriously concerned about the move of the Indian government with reference to banning these applications. The Chinese government has stressed that Indian government has the responsibility to protect the legitimate rights and interests of international investors in India in accordance with market principles. So the move is described as a deliberate interference in practical cooperation between the two countries. China also blamed that ban is selective and discriminatory as it is aimed at certain Chinese applications. And they say that the move is against fair and transparent procedure requirements and that India has violated World Trade Organization rules. It also noted that the move is against the general trend of international trade and e-commerce. So China's state media has warned that the move would bring economic repercussions or consequences, such as, we can say that it would affect Chinese investments or foreign direct investments into India. So finally, China is asking India to review the decision banning the 59 applications. But whatever said, we have to keep in mind that China restricts a number of foreign applications and websites in its mainland. Some of the blocked applications are WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It is in this regard we have to analyze the moves and the responses of Chinese government. So these are some of the important information with reference to the analysis of these articles. We saw about the background of banning the applications. We saw the editorial. We saw the possible repercussions on Indian and Chinese economy. Then we saw the response of Chinese government in this regard. Now let's move on to next news article. This news article talks about law officers in our country. When we say law officer, it includes Attorney General, Solicitor General, and Additional Solicitor General. The news article states that Union government has extended the term of Shri Venugopal as Attorney General for a period of 1 year. The article also mentions that the usual tenure of Attorney General is 3 years. In this context, let us discuss about the law officers in our country and with special focus to the Attorney General of India. The syllabus relevant for the analysis of this news article is highlighted here for your reference. First, let us see about Attorney General. See, Article 76 of Indian Constitution deals with the Attorney General of India, the appointment of the Attorney General and the duties. See, Attorney General is appointed by President of India. The person should be qualified to be appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court. Only then the person can be appointed as Attorney General. Now, as we know, for a person to be appointed as a judge of Supreme Court, he or she should be a citizen of India. Then the person must be a High Court judge for at least 5 years, or a person must have been an advocate in High Court for at least 10 years, or the person must have been a distinguished jurist in the opinion of the President. Article 76 also mentions that Attorney General has to give advice to the Government of India on legal matters that are referred by the President. And the Attorney General also performs other duties of legal character time to time referred by the President. Shall also discharge the functions conferred under the Constitution or any other law for time being in force. And we have to know that in performance of these duties of Attorney General will have right of audience in all courts in India. Article 76 also states that Attorney General shall hold office during the pleasure of the President and shall receive such remuneration determined by the President. This means Constitution does not guarantee security of tenure to Attorney General, and Attorney General can be removed whenever President wishes to do so. And we know that a President exercises his or her functions in accordance with the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers under Article 74 of Indian Constitution. Now when you come to Article 88 of Indian Constitution, it mentions that Attorney General has the right to speak in the proceedings of either house of the Parliament, also in joint sittings of both the houses. In addition to right to speak, Attorney General has the right to take part in the proceedings of either house or any joint sittings of both houses. The officer can also take part in any committee of Parliament where the officer is named as a member. But here we should note clearly that the Attorney General will not enjoy the right to vote whenever taking part in parliamentary proceedings, including parliamentary committees. So this is all what is mentioned in the Constitution about the Attorney General. One important thing we have to note is that other law officers, say the Solicitor General for India and the Additional Solicitor General, they are not mentioned in the Constitution. These officers, they assist Attorney General and represent government in the legal matters. Now, in pursuance of Article 76 and Article 309 of Indian Constitution, the President issued rules called as the Law Officer Conditions of Service Rules 1987. These rules are comprehensive and they delineate the functions of Attorney General, Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General. Prior to this rules of 1987, there was rules of 1972. This 1972 rules was superseded by the 1987 rules. Now, according to this Law Officer Conditions of Service Rules of 1987, the term of a law officer is 3 years and the officer is eligible for reappointment as well. So here, law officer, as we saw already, includes Attorney General, Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General. And know that the headquarters of Attorney General and Solicitor General is at New Delhi. Now let's come to the duties of law officers. First and foremost, they give advice to the Government of India in legal matters. Then they appear in Supreme Court or in any High Court on behalf of government in cases in which government is a party or in cases where government is interested. Then they represent Government of India in any reference made by President to the Supreme Court under Article 143 of Constitution. However, the same rules also impose certain restrictions on law officers. One is that they should not defend an accused person in a criminal prosecution without the permission of Government of India. Then they should not accept appointment to any office, say in any company or a corporation, without the permission of Government of India. Then they should not advise against Government of India or they should not hold a brief against Government of India. That is, a law officer should not argue against Government of India. Then they shall not advise any ministry or department of Government of India or any statutory organization or PSU for that matter. But if at all they have to give advice, first a proposal in this regard has to be received through Department of Legal Affairs of Ministry of Law and Justice. So these are some of the information with reference to law officers in the country. Note that while Attorney General is mentioned in the Constitution, Solicitor General or Additional Solicitor General is not mentioned in the Constitution. An Attorney General does not enjoy security of tenure as per the Constitution because Article 76 states that Attorney General shall hold office during the pleasure of President. In this analysis, we saw about Article 76 and the Attorney General of India. Then we saw about duties and restrictions of law officers as per the Law Officer Conditions of Service Rules of 1987. Now let us move on to the analysis of next article. This news article talks about State of the World Population 2020 report released by United Nations Population Fund. In the analysis, let us see some of the important findings of this report. This report, it calculates missing females by using the calculation of number of sex ratio imbalances at birth because of the result of gender biased sex selection or prenatal sex selection. And here the missing females also include excess female mortality which is caused because of postnatal sex selection or sex selection after birth that is deliberate neglect of girls because of a culture of son preference. That is postnatal sex selection. We can say that selective infanticide or neglect to a girl child with reference to nutrition, vaccination, curative care, or abandoning a girl child. These things that happen after birth is what we call as postnatal sex selection, which causes excess female mortality. The numbers are shocking, as out of the total number of missing females, around 7 crore are from China and around 4.5 crore are from India. That is why the article states that 1 in 3 girls missing globally because of sex selection, both pre and postnatal, is from India. And as per the report, the number of missing women were actually at around 6 crore in the year 1970. Tragic picture here is that it has more than doubled in the last 50 years. Now, of about around 17 lakh excess female deaths, 6.2 lakh are from China and 3.6 lakh are from India. The report also cites a 2014 study that states that India has the highest rate of excess female deaths at around 13.5 per 1000 female births. As we saw already, excess female deaths are deaths attributable due to postnatal sex selection. The report also highlights about India's under 5 female mortality, which is also among the highest in the world. The report states that between the years 2013 to 2017, around 4.6 lakh girls in India were missing at birth every year. Know that gender biased sex selection, it accounts for around 2/3 of total missing girls, and post birth female mortality, it accounts for remaining 1/3 of missing girls. Such a kind of sex selection can distort a country's population for generations. The most important and visible effect is observed in the rise in number of males to females at birth. And over time, these skewed sex ratios will translate into missing girls, missing women, and also missing elderly women. The report also talks about a term called as marriage squeeze in China and India. This refers to a situation where prospective grooms outnumber prospective brides. That is, men are unable to find women for marriage. Now, why we have to worry about this marriage squeeze is because it will result into more child marriages in the future. With this, now let's move on to the analysis of next news article. This news article is with reference to the release of Index of 8 core industries for the reference month of May 2020 on the last working day of June 2020. Reports say that output of 8 core sector industries has contracted more than 23% in the month of May. And this refers to the fact that the growth rate of Index of 8 core industries for May 2020 declined by 23.4%. But if you see the decline in the month of April 2020, it is around 37%. In this context, let us discuss about the Index of 8 core industries and some of the important points with reference to the article. The syllabus relevant for the analysis is highlighted here for your reference. See, with reference to industries, we usually hear Index of Industrial Production. Now, this is estimated and published on a monthly basis by National Statistical Organization under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now, within this Index of Industrial Production, if you see the weightage of 8 core industries, it is around 40.27%. That is, 8 core industries, they comprise of 40.27% of weight of items that are included in Index of Industrial Production. Now you come to Index of 8 core industries. See, it is a monthly index which is called as a production volume index. This index, it measures collective and individual performance of production in 8 core industries. When we say 8 core industries, this refers to coal industry, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizer industry, steel industry, cement and electricity. It is calculated with reference to the base year, which is 2011-2012. Now, who compiles and releases this index? It is compiled and released by Office of Economic Advisor under Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now come to the news article. It states that the growth rate of Index of 8 core industries for May 2020 declined by 23.4%. You can have a look at this graph to know the statistics over the last 1 year period with reference to this index of 8 core industries. Now we have given you the weightage of the 8 core industries within this index of 8 core industries and also in index of industrial production. For your reference here, you can understand that the refinery products constitute the largest weight in terms of index of 8 core industries, around 28%. Now the news article reports that the fertilizer industry has witnessed a growth of 7.5% in May 2020 over the previous year in May 2019. In the same way, if we compare with May 2019 and May 2020, all core industries other than fertilizer industries has witnessed contraction. The news article reports that though the situation in May is better than in April 2020, it is way below the pre-COVID-19 levels. Economists expect that the contraction is to continue in June 2020 as well. And one of the reasons why fertilizer industry has become the only core industry to witness growth in May is because of ongoing Kharif sowing season and also because of good monsoon which is received so far. Energy sector, which includes oil and gas, coal and petroleum products, are expected to decline for coming months as well because of lack of economic activities and daily mobility due to restrictions related to the lockdown. And the improvement over ICI compared with April gives a sort of hope or green shoots that economy is on the path of recovery. Some economics predict that economy will recover in the second quarter of this fiscal year, that is from July to September 2020. So these are some of the information with reference to the analysis of this news article. We saw about index of 8 core industries, their weightage, and we saw some recent information with reference to May 2020. Now let's move on to next news article. This news article talks about PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan Anna Yojana. In this discussion, we shall see in brief about this Yojana. Now we know that the government has announced 20 lakh crore economic relief package to stimulate the economy hit by lockdown. Under this, one of the components was directed towards the population who are poor, and this package was called as PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan package. Under this PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan package, there is a sub-component called as PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Under this Yojana, 80 crore poor people are to get 5 kg wheat or rice and 1 kg of preferred pulses for free every month. And this is in addition to subsidized food grains provided under targeted public distribution system. And this additionality is given free of cost, as we saw. And yesterday, that is on 30th June 2020, Prime Minister announced that the free grain distribution scheme under this PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan Anna Yojana will be extended by 5 more months till the end of November. And this is to cost around rupees 90,000 crores to the government. Now there are few other measures that are announced under PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan package. One is to provide insurance cover to health workers fighting COVID-19. Then around 20 crore women, Jan Dhan account holders, are to receive financial assistance. Then increasing the wages under Narega program by 20 rupees from 182 to 202. Then providing ex gratia payment of rupees 1,000 to 3 crore poor senior citizens, widows and disabled individuals. And government also advanced the payment of first installment of rupees 2,000 under Prime Minister Kisan Yojana to April 2020. And central government has also given orders to state governments to use Building and Construction Workers Welfare Fund to provide relief to construction workers. See, these are some of the efforts taken by the Government of India with reference to addressing the concerns of the poor population during the lockdown. Now, with reference to additional details related to the economic relief package, the National Food Security Act and Targeted Public Distribution System, we advise the viewers to watch the Hindu News analysis on 15th May 2020. Now let's move on to next part of the discussion. We have come to the last session, the practice questions discussion session. See this question. The question reads, which of the following offices or bodies is or are mentioned in the Constitution of India? Attorney General of India, Union Cabinet, Solicitor General of India, Advocate General of State. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. See, Attorney General of India is mentioned in Article 76, Union Cabinet mentioned in Article 352 of Indian Constitution. Then Advocate General of State is mentioned in Article 165. Solicitor General of India is not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. So the correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 4 only. This question reads, the State of the World Population 2020 was released by. The correct answer for this question is option D, United Nations Population Fund. See, United Nations Population Fund is the UN Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. Its goal is to ensure reproductive rights for all. Its mission is to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted and every childbirth is safe. That is, it bats for abortion rights with respect to unwanted pregnancy and in other circumstances that necessitate abortion. Know that it started its operation in the year 1969 in the name United Nations Fund for Population Activities. It was established as a trust fund in 1967. In the year 1987, it was officially renamed as United Nations Population Fund. See this question, the Shane, Hello and Likey recently seen in news are malwares, mobile applications, cyclones, cyber attacks. Correct answer is option B, mobile applications. Shane is an online shopping application. Hello app is a social networking application launched by a company from China called as ByteDance. So this Likey is a popular global original video creation and video sharing platform. Correct answer option B. This question is with reference to PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan Anna Yojana. The question reads, which of the following correctly describes PradhanmantriGarib Kalyan Anna Yojana, a scheme to disperse rupees 500 for 20 crore women Jan Dhan account holders? If the question is with respect to Garib Kalyan package, we could have said this statement is correct as it comes under the broader Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. But the question is with reference to Anna Yojana. Here the correct answer is option C, a scheme to provide 5 kg wheat or rice and 1 kg of preferred pulses for free to 80 crore poor people. Here option B, a special microcredit facility scheme to provide affordable loans to street vendors and to enable them to resume work and earn livelihood is corresponding to Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme or Pradhan Mantri Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme. Correct answer option C. See this question, consider the following statements. 2 statements are given. Which of the statements given above are correct? The index of 8 core industries is released by the National Statistical Office under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. This statement is incorrect. See, while index of industrial production is released by National Statistical Office, index of 8 core industries is released by Office of the Economic Advisor under Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Come to the second statement. The 8 core sectors comprise around 40% of weight of items included in the index of industrial production. Now this statement is correct. To be precise, around 40.27%. Correct answer option B, 2 only. With this, we come to the end of today's The Hindu News Analysis. If you like the video, if you would have enjoyed the content, don't fail to click the like button and share this resource among your friends and those who are in need of such resources. And subscribe to the Shankar Academy YouTube channel to get notified about new updates.